How do the biggest YouTubers get you addicted to their videos? Some YouTubers have mastered the art of getting you to click on their videos, and then once you're watching them, make sure that you never click away.
I'm going to attempt to spend the next 7 days in solitary confinement.
If you can figure out how the best YouTubers do it, you'll be well on your way to growing your YouTube channel. And that's what I want to do. So after watching a whole lot of videos, taking a whole lot of notes, I found 5 elements that YouTubers use to get you addicted to their videos. As soon as someone clicks on your video, you immediately have to overcome 3 things. First, people have a very short attention span. Second, people don't actually care about your content, especially if it's their first time seeing you. And third, as soon as they click, they have a whole sidebar of other videos they can watch. For the best YouTubers, they do one thing that overcomes all these problems all at once, and it's called the elevator pitch. Basically, in the first 30 seconds, you want to convince the viewer to watch the rest of the video and show what's in it for them. There's one YouTuber that does a really good job of this. His name is Ed from Film Booth. Well, his name's Ed and he's from Film Booth. His name's not Ed from Film Booth. You get the idea. Let's look at one of his elevator pitches and then we can deconstruct it so we can use it for ourselves.
I dived deep into some of the biggest creators on the planet's videos and discovered 5 editing strategies they use to keep their viewers hooked. And what you're about to learn will finally help you work out for yourself how much editing is too much editing, as well as which one of these strategies you should actually use. And after this, you're never going to watch a David Attenborough show again the same, I'm afraid.
Ed's elevator pitch has 3 things. First, he focuses on something that the audience desires.
And what you're about to learn will finally help you work out for yourself how much editing is too much editing.
He uses curiosity.
And after this, you're never going to watch a David Attenborough show again the same, I'm afraid.
And the third one is the secret sauce if you want to have retention graphs like this, because it's a way to tap into the viewer's psychology and basically force them to keep watching. As humans, as soon as we hear questions, we immediately want to know the answer. So Ed introduces 2 different questions that are relevant to his audience. How much editing is too much, and which one of these strategies should you actually use? When you break down some of the most popular creators, they all have a specific structure they use to lay out question after question, so you never get a chance to click off. MrBeast is a great example. In the very beginning of his videos, he sets up these questions.
In this video, we're going on a $250,000 vacation. This is beautiful. How is this real? And I'm going to show you the difference between this and a $100,000 presidential vacation.
Right this way, sir.
A $50,000 vacation where we have the Eiffel Tower completely to ourselves.
I'm holding on for dear life.
All the way down to this $1 vacation.
So in the very first seconds, he makes you wonder what's each vacation going to look like and what's going to happen. And once you get the answer to that question, you still have to know the answer to the others. These are called open loops, and you can use them to keep your audience watching. So in your own videos, think of different questions you can introduce to the audience that will make them want to know the answers to. And then as soon as you answer one, you want to introduce the next one. So at this point, you'll have a pretty engaging video, but even with the best video, if you don't do this next thing, people will inevitably get bored and click off. So imagine if you go into an action movie, but all 2.5 hours were a chase scene. Now, I like a good chase scene as much as the next guy, but no matter how good it is, 2.5 hours of it is just too much. And it's the same way with your content. No matter how good your content is, if it's the exact same thing for too long, people are gonna get bored and click off. But the best YouTubers have a few tools they use over and over to make sure you never get bored. The first tool is brought to you by Mr. Ryan Trahan. If I ever start to zone out, he always does something that gets me focused on the video again. And that's because he uses this.
This campsite is massive. There's a heated pool, a basketball court, a slide that can potentially give you scoliosis, and this inflatable thing that looks really fun.
Every once in a while in your videos, you want to break things up and re-engage the viewer. I can be throwing a joke in, changing the pacing, or telling a story. This is going to make the viewer stay engaged for longer. Now, this next element is the glue that holds all of this together. Ali Abdaal said, out of his 7 years of being on YouTube, this was the key to being successful. So I found a really interesting way to make it much more likely that people click on your videos. When I wanted to make a video, I would brainstorm titles and thumbnails and just pick the one that sounded good to me. But I was watching a YouTube growth course by a channel called Amplify Views, and he showed me a different way. So what you can do is look at adjacent niches to yours. So if you're an education channel that teaches your audience something, you can look at other educational channels. So if you teach your audience how to edit videos, you can look at channels that teach their audience about finance. You want to look at these channels and look for different title formulas that you can use in your own videos. For example, if we go over to Alex Hormozi's channel, you can see that he has, if I wanted to become a millionaire in 2024, this is what I do. Full blueprint. So your video could be, if I wanted to become a video editor in 2024, this is what I do, full blueprint. So you want to go to these channels and adjacent niches, and for each one of their high performing videos, you want to brainstorm how you can use it in your own niche. And the reason this is so important is because if no one clicks on your video, it doesn't matter how good it actually is. Now the next element probably a lot of people miss because YouTube as a whole has completely changed. In the past, YouTube would push out your videos if you had a lot of subscribers. But now if you miss this next thing, it can be the reason that your video stops getting views. If you really want to get people addicted to your videos, you want to use the same tactic that all your favorite Netflix shows use. At the end of each episode, none of these Netflix shows wrap up things nicely and have a happy ending. At least not the ones that I'm watching. They always end with a cliffhanger. And when you break it down, a good cliffhanger does three things. First, it introduces another problem, because things can never end smoothly. Number two, they show you why that's important. They always basically say, but this could change everything. And three, they promise to give you the answer in the next episode. So in your videos, you want to do the exact same thing. Instead of just asking people to subscribe, you want to introduce a new problem, tell them why it's important and could change everything, and then promise to give them the answer in the next video. Now, it's one thing to get people addicted to your videos, but honestly, I'm more impressed by YouTubers that can get you addicted to them. Because with so much competition constantly popping up on YouTube, if you want to stay in for the long haul, you want to build a personal brand. And I think Trahan is a perfect example of this because he can make a video about basically anything and it still gets millions of views. And that's because he has mastered how to get people addicted to him. So if you want to see how he does that, I broke it down in this video.